EP36. It's Nautical November. Evening, guys. How are we?
We're doing very well. How about you?
Yeah.
It's Nautical November.
That's not really an answer, Brian, but you know.
Well, I register for classes tomorrow, and then there's the presidential election next week, and I have all these, my bed's full of papers, all these things to do, panic, and more TLCs.
Is that on your pink bed cover, or is it red? I'm not quite sure.
It is actually
I think it's pink. We'll go with pink.
It is what
you
it
can.
Anyway.
Just a very deep pink.
Okay. As far as I know, there's only one color pink. I'm a bloke, all right? Girls do very different tones. It's pink. That's it. Anyway, welcome all in the chats. Thanks for logging in, that sort of stuff. So we've got a few slides tonight. I think it's about 16 in total. Some of it's quite complex. So we'll summarize certain points. And obviously, once we finish the show, we'll post up the slides as well in PDF format. So you can take a long, leisurely look at some of it and then get it square in your head. Okay, so I think what we'll do is probably I'll present and then we'll start off as we intend to carry on. Okay, so it's TFC episode 36, 1st November 2016. That's not a bad start. So in tonight's slide pack, it contains, okay then, the King of Nexus, which is a mega shit specific, okay, Clash of Titans 3, okay then, and the new mega ship stats, the High Tide TLC, which some of you might have noticed that I actually did last night. Sorry, early on today on the last night. Hark at me, that'd be cheating, wouldn't it? Did it early on today, and I got that stream out before we did this show. And bug fixed in tuning with a slight twist. So here we go. Kings of Nexus. George, take it away.
I thought I had the second mega part. Okay,
right,
because this one I'm not all that entirely sure on.
Okay, so I'll do this little bit. So basically, I'll do the Kings of Nexus. You do the second piece, and that's no problem at all.
Okay.
So Kings of Nexus is basically a mini event that runs at certain specific times. Okay, and participants then can claim Nexus, their special Nexus for their alliance, and then basically they can earn gold for defending them. So basically from 9 AM on the 4th of November, okay, then right through to the 7th at 10 AM, okay, a gold Nexus will appear in each world, okay? So that's one will appear in each world, bear that in mind, okay? So there's gonna be 5 in total in the game, that's it. At 10 AM, they will be activated. You can secure it with your mega ship owners, okay, in your alliance. So basically they just log on to a Nexus like they normally do, as indicated in the picture there. Good. Okay. So you need to defend and control this gold Nexus to earn gold over time. If you control the gold Nexus as the time expires, you get an expiration bonus on top of the fact that you've held it all that time as well. And that'll be awarded to all Alliance members. And there's some good points about that in a second. The final payout has a bonus of metal alloys for the players who own the mega ships on top. So there's an additional piece for those people that are actually taking their hits on their mega ships as well. So this is a new thing, and it was warned off that it was coming this month, and it's going to be great fun, I think, for those that have got mega ships, and actually those that don't have them as well.
Yeah, and I think this is still in testing, correct?
Well, it's a bit late if it's in testing because it's going live in a couple of days. So,
all right, but I'm saying like it's like the 109s are going to come bring it out, see how it does. And then
as it says there, I mean, this is basically from 9 AM on November the 4th until November the 7th. Yeah. So there we go. So we've got 3 days of it, and I think that's what's in testing is how much gold they can give out.
I figure everything's in testing.
Yeah, I think the whole game is in beta for all the time. So it says that the pill in the hub will display in the upper left-hand corner on your game screen. Okay, mouse. I love the term mousing. Mousing your cursor over this pill, where did they get that word from? Okay, shows the end time of the event when the gold Nexus will expire. Okay, so you can see that there's a time clock on the Nexus in the picture there. Click on the pill, will open a specific locator, and that's obviously you see the reward Nexus picture there, which will indicate then to all individuals that basically the time and then basically the unclaimed information. So you can see your alliance and you can see enemy alliances and that sort of stuff, and then unknown Nexuses as well. That's it basically in a nutshell for that then. So there's a bit of information here, which is quite good. So as you can see then, basically all alliance members, okay, that partake in this, whether you own a mega hull or not, you will get a payout. So if you're defending with a standard fleet, okay, If you've not got a fleet to defend with, but you're in that alliance and your alliance manages to hold on to that Nexus, as those payouts tick past, which we'll talk about those in a second, you will also get gold, which is great. And then at the end of it, if you are there and your alliance is still holding it at the end, you'll also get the bonus payout at the very, very end as well. It's just the alliance members will get the additional points.
Now, the way that this reads, it says that the regular drip, you only have a certain amount of claims that you can take, correct?
Yeah. So it drip feeds on they're there. So variant paying events on 1, 2, 4, 6, and 12 hours, and there's a cap to how many gold payouts you can earn. So be sure to keep your top off what you're claiming and what you earn. So you must claim it off. Yeah.
So what I think this means is that if your alliance owns that Nexus at the 1 hour mark, you can claim then, or you can wait and see if you get till the 2 hour mark. And at the 2 hour mark, you can claim, and if not, you can wait till the 4 hour mark and claim.
But it's like cashing in. If you've held it for 4 hours, you're going to get more gold. But if you cash out at 2 hours, you won't be able to cash out again.
Well, you can. Well, it depends on how many claims you're allowed. But the catch is this: if you lose the Nexus before you can cash out the next, you lose the bonus.
That's a good idea. I think it is. I quite like it.
I think it's going to be interesting because I think if I were playing this, I wouldn't be trying to hold it for that full hour or 2 hours. But
you
that's
need to hold it at least for an hour, don't you?
Yes.
So
no. You have to. They activate an hour after the 10 o'clock. Like at 10 o'clock they activate. At 11 o'clock they'll do the first payout. At 12 o'clock they'll do the second payout. And depends on who owns it at what point, I believe. See, this is the part that I'm very confused as to how they're doing the mechanic.
Nexuses will vary, paying out every 1, 2, 4, 6, or 12 hours. So I don't think this is you hold the 1 and it ticks at 11 and then noon. There's different types, and those different types have different payout schedules.
Well, then why would anyone want to do anything except go and steal the 12-hour one 5 minutes before the 12-hour mark?
That's what I'm wondering as well.
Maybe the delta between the strongest alliance in your world and the second strongest alliance is actually quite small, so that you understand that there's going to be a lot of fierce contesting. And if you can only hold a point for 10 minutes, well, if you can hold that point for the 10 minutes where the hour ticks on, where you get the 2 gold or whatever it is, then you get the 2 gold. Obviously, there's a higher gold per hour rates, but
go on.
But like if it's a 12-hour Nexus, correct?
Mm-hmm.
That means at 10 p.m. U.S. Pacific time, it's going to pay out that 12-hour Nexus gold.
Yeah.
So why would I not wait until 10 minutes before that and take it over? Because 10 o'clock at night in California is what in England?
6 a.m. Well, now
we're 8 hours. It's 9 hours at the moment, but we're 8 hours. But that'll change next week. So
that'll be what, 6 in the morning?
So our Pacific time basically is 8 hours behind us. So you just go us plus 10, us plus 8. Sorry, or us. Pacific time is 8.
So 10.
8.
So 10 p.m. there is going to be 6 a.m. there at your place. So who's gonna have the advantage there? You see what I'm saying? I'm very iffy on this whole thing. Anybody
wants to get up early and everybody else has gone to bed early, and then we can come and shit off you. But then again,
just have a coffee and go chunk out a Nexus and take it down. This also could be them testing engagement levels for different payout schedules, whether like how many alliances can be bothered to contest a point for every hour, or only have the ability to contest a point every 2 hours, or 4, or 6, or 12. It's kind of a market test.
But I see the about the mechanics, because there's look, Nexus will vary payouts every 1, 2, 4, 6, and 12 hours. I would like to think if you held it for a full 12 hours, you get far more than if and then you claimed it in and then basically cashed in at the 12-hour point than if you were just to cash in at the 4-hour point, because you've held it for so much longer.
You get more in an absolute sense, but it's a lower hourly rate.
It may be, but the end result, the big lump at the end of it, should be better, shouldn't it?
You'd like to think so.
Well, let me see.
And it says at the bottom there, each world would only have 1 gold Nexus appearing randomly.
Yeah, that seems a lot rough, actually, because there's only 5 worlds, and
there's 5 Nexuses then, isn't there?
Yeah,
question-
across the whole of the game, they're going to get a very small sample size. Go, George.
Well, the question is it going to be in the locator, or are you going to be hunting for it as well? I mean, that's the other catch.
Ew.
Yeah.
It'd be more funny if to hunt for it, wouldn't it?
It'd be funny.
There'd be people
Yeah,
going
that's the
mental.
word.
There'd be people going crazy up and down the world, up and down the world. They would. A big alliance would say, right, you go to this sector, you go to this one, you go to this one, and then scroll through all 26. You'd be using obviously the
Reminiscent of Blackwater days.
yeah. Funny, isn't it?
The worst barrier ever is the time that you spend scrolling through this 10 sectors that you are assigned.
And with the map loading as crappy as it does, I mean,
Wow.
That would
But
suck.
the point is, well, put it this way, right? So let's just say you've got 2 high alliances and they've got 15 super holes each, at least. Are you going to be in the same world, or are you going to jump somewhere else? Because I know what I'd do. I'd bank on the fact of I would jump out literally about 10 minutes before they start, and I'd go to a world where there wasn't, my comparative alliance wasn't there, and I go to a world where there was basically a lot of useless alliances, and I go and hold it, and then no one can challenge me.
Well, the catch is there's more than 5 big alliances. I mean, that takes care of all the worlds. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not feeling this one. I really am not.
I
I like it as a concept, and I've been enjoying watching it. Put it that way.
Yes, the concept's great. It's going to be fun watching what happens, but it's not something that I think I'm going to be participating in.
So I mean, my only worry is no, it's not a worry. My only the alliances that are going to do this, they get this. So I'm not talking. I'm not pre-converted already. But you don't get a free lunch. So while you get some gold, by God, you're going to take some damage. So but if you like battling, then it is a free lunch, because you're already battling Mega Hole versus Mega Hole. Then this is a freebie, and it gives you momentum as well. But it's certainly not going to cover your repair costs. You just bear that in mind, because
it looks like a pill in the HUD displays, and you click that pill. It looks like there's something like coordinates there, in addition to where they are.
So there we go. So this is page 4. So it says that you can claim payouts by selecting the pill by clicking the bar, but see the highlighted area. So that's the top one. Okay. So there you go. You got 22k. Oh no, you got more than that. 400 anyway. So there you go. So indicating your treasure is awaiting. This can be done, and so that's across the whole alliance, obviously. Now, I don't know if that payout is based on number of persons in your alliance, or whether that's just a set figure, which is then distributed amongst the alliance players. Don't know. That's a grey area still yet, because it's a bit like the lotto, isn't it? If 2 people win, you get half each, but if there's 10 of you, you get far less. Or do they up the prize pool based on the number of people in it? Don't know. But there's the nodes, look, okay, which is interesting, because node A, B, C, D, E. So 2 gold drips every 1 hour, and then obviously 4 gold drips every 2 hours. 18 gold drips every 12 hours.
So maybe it is by the node then, rather than the time that you spend.
It looks like
that's
it's
what. Oh, it's weird.
So the longer you hold it, the better it is, isn't it?
Maybe. I mean, we don't know how what the mechanic is yet.
And then obviously when the event ends, it says the Nexus will pay out an extra exploration bonus of 10 metal alloys to the alliance that owns it. The payout will only be granted to players with a mega ship. The payout must be claimed within the limit, or the payout will be lost. The payout must be claimed within the limit. That's the limit time, I take it they mean. Or the payout will be lost. So is that 10 metal alloys per mega ship?
I would think.
Sounds about fair. I mean, it sounds rubbish.
And look, here's the thing. That's going to pay out at 10 o'clock on the 7th Pacific time. At 10 to 10, there's going to be a brawl at every single one of these.
It'll be chaos, isn't it? But funny.
It'd be funny, but I just hope that they have thought through how they're going to set up this mechanic so people like me don't take advantage of it.
Well, that's the idea. It's taking advantage. That's the whole idea of battling, isn't it? It's a pirate game. So, but yeah, I'd rate it right at the end if I could. But then again, if you've got a Nexus set up there and it's got like 20 mega holes around it, you ain't going to get that in an hour. No, battles take that long anyway. So,
anyway, that'd be a long battle.
However, if you don't have a mega ship, this is not for you.
You don't care.
But it's not doing any harm. So, good on you. Okay, it's another thing that's not going to really affect the balance of the game, personally. Apart from a few people are going to get a few coins, but I think it's going to cost you a lot of coins to do it anyway.
And they probably already have a lot of coins
Because even,
Because
even the support ships that are going to come in and support those mega hulls, they're going to get trashed, and that's also going to cost them money to fix those again. Because they're typical Apollos and that sort of stuff. So
it might be cheaper to buy some, Facebook credits and share them amongst the alliance than partake in this. But
that's
good
not
idea.
fun.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how.
Okay. So we'll jump past that. So that's King of Nexus, all right, and I'll be interested to watch that. I must admit, I'll be a spectator because we're getting there with mega hulls, but we're nowhere near at that level. I'll tell you that now. Not to go and hold the one pill in the whole world. It's not going to happen.
Yeah. No.
Okay, Clash of Titans 3, the TLC. So we've got an additional run through, and basically it's going up down until the 8th of November, which is perfect because I didn't get a chance to do that campaign myself. Prize packs there, and obviously the most important one for those that are thinking about the drones later on is the drone bridging module in Prize Pack 4, and that's what everyone should really be going for, to be honest.
In order to beef your mega hull up for this weekend's King of the Nexus.
You probably want that drone. Yeah, exactly.
Sunday. It's
you want that bridge module. Otherwise, all of us that were stuck with just Prize Pack 1 last week, we might actually be able to get to Prize Pack 2 and 3 because now it gives us enough time to build those rockets.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll get the bridge module next month.
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
So,
but there we go. So it's on. It's extended, and then Prize Pack 4 is in there now, which is the drone bridge module. We've been talking about that for some time, haven't we? So that's which is excellent.
Yeah.
So there we go. That's Clash of Titans.
That's a good segue into this.
Yeah. So we've got some new megaship stats. So when you pull up and then read down through your stats of your megaship and that sort of stuff, you've got two things then. So you've got additional drone capacity because we know that's stepping up because of that bridge that's coming. So the number of additional drone modules that can be built onto your megaship will now be indicated in the stats. Link range, and that's picture 1 and picture 2. So a single link, as you see there's the Nexus and there's one hull, okay, then one megaship next to it, and then there's a double link link there, obviously. So it's obviously you can see it's 2 links, isn't it? So the maximum world map range in which an associated module can be assist another megaship, okay, within the hive, and that's how it is. It's a 2-link method, isn't it?
For right now, this is one of the things that we were talking with Raken before about what they were trying to decide. How big the hives were going to be allowed, and then how far you can help. Because if you have like a massive mega hull in the middle and 4 slots out needs help, does it help or does it not? I mean, I think they're still contemplating how far out they want the help to go. And again, that might be something where they might increase it with higher levels of bridge modules or something. So, but for right now, I think 2 is the max, correct?
Yeah. That's it on the bridging side. Yeah, that's what it says anyway. Okay, and then obviously there's support ship issues. So the maximum hive support, the maximum number of modules that can be assisting the link, okay, and basically is indicated in the picture the third picture there, which then goes on to a completely new bit of text. So do you want to jump forward onto that text?
I'll if you want to keep that picture up, I'll go through the text. That way they can actually see what I mean, because there's a lot of reference to that picture right there. The new drone bridge is going to let you have the support of the drone modules into the other areas as it says. And if you assume like that supporter ship in the middle has, say, 3 drone modules built, in regular combat you'll have access to those 3 drone modules. However, if you're in a hive and it needs to support the other ships around it, it can support any of them around it. If, however, say those 3 highlighted ships are attacked simultaneously, the max amount of hive support that the support ship in the middle can do is 2, even if it has 3 drone modules. So if all 3 of them are attacked at the same time, it's going to go 1 drone module to one ship, 1 drone module to another, and then that's it. You can't use the 3rd drone module to support, but you can still use it on yours if your megaship gets attacked.
Okay.
Supporting modules that attempt to aid another megaship in combat come on a first-come, first-served basis. I'm not entirely sure how that is going to play out mechanic-wise. I don't know if it's going to go with the closest ship to you helps you first, and then the next one, and I don't know if there's a max. I believe right now it's 1 drone module per combat per megaship can support in a single battle. Actually, I was just kind of going off the top of my head, and I don't know where I am in the text. Here I am. If the supporting megaship comes under attack while it is actively using the associated modules, like if you're on the edge and you're helping the other two, and you get hit as well, so now there's 3 battles, you're in one of them, then those modules will not also aid the supporting megaships that you are connected to. So if 3 of you guys get attacked at the same time, and you have the bridge to help everyone else, they're not getting help. You get priority. Your own hull gets priority on it.
Yeah, I remember that. So
even if you resolve your battle early and the other 2 are still in battle, you're not helping. You're just done. So if you guys, this is one of those types of strategy things. If you are going up against a bigger hive and you know who has what, you attack that hive, that ship first, so it can't help the other 2 mega hulls. Any associated module that is not actively being used to support other megaships will still aid the owning megaship as normal. I don't know what that deal is, so...
Say that line again. Say that line again.
The last line says, any associated module that is not actively being used to support other megaships will still aid the owning megaship as normal.
Okay, so if he's got a so if he's got a module,
so I see what they're saying. So if you're in the middle and the other 2 ships get attacked first, and you have, say, 3 modules, your first 2 are they're gonna help the other 2 ships first, but you won't get it if you get attacked after they are.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're attacked simultaneously, everything stays to you. If they get attacked first, they get the help, and then if you get attacked afterwards, you only have 1 module to help you instead of all 3.
Because the other ones are being expended.
Correct.
That's what tactics. Some tactics then, isn't there? So that's a case of working out who's got the modules on there, attack the peripheral ships first, and then go and attack the other one.
If you want to get rid of that one first, if say it's blocking it or if it's holding the hive together. Because if that's the key one and it's going to break the hive, you want to weaken it other ways first. Yeah, it's a great strategy thing.
Yeah, that is. So that also means then that stacking your modules is going to be quite important. Stacking, your megaships, how you stack them in the hive is important now.
Yes. Yes, and they said that was going to be coming. That was going to be a thing. So it's apparently already starting to be a thing. That's good. I like that. I like that aspect.
Yeah, that's a bit more thought into that. I quite like that. So that's not just a case of tacking on anywhere you fancy. And the concept still is a point. Once you're locked into a hive, you're in the hive, and if you're on the periphery and that sort of stuff, you can break away and that sort of stuff. But then obviously you expose the inner aspects of the hive as well, which people can cut through. So there we go.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Mega hull's done. Considering just as well, obviously Stu's not on because obviously he died. Now, if you want that information, obviously it's on this slide here, which we're going to glance past now because we've already done it. So that's a mega ship bit. So here let's go on to the high tide TLC. Okay, so this is the one that people are interested in. Okay, which is good. So here we go. The high tide time limited campaign features obviously Legion targets, which you've seen the stream. I completed that this evening. Okay, which is very similar to the old Civil War targets. Okay, in the event cycle. So make sure you're bringing your Rhinos and your Apollos. I would agree with that right up until the very last target. Because if you bring in Rhinos in the very last target, you're going to have a very rude awakening. I can tell you that now. Who thumbed down at the start of the show? Somebody always thumbed down at the start of the show. Don't worry about it.
I just thought it was hilarious.
We can't start this show without a thumb down. Somebody comes on, does a thumb down, and then leaves. It just makes me smile every time. Anyway, so we'll ignore that. It's just funny. If we haven't got it, I mean, I feel like I've missed him. Her, whoever it is. It just amuses me.
He was sick today.
So, anyway, you can read the rest of the text, and I won't while that up there, and I'll tell you basically my thoughts. So if you were on earlier on, then basically you might have seen my stream. So you get five runs through. In fact, it's on this slide here. So you get 5 runs through on the first one. Okay, then you get 6 runs through on the second one, and they're all the standard targets. And then the 7th run through in the third run, the third set. Okay, and there's a mega ship. It's the old 86 mega ship, not the big one, not the 91. And you go, oh, this looks great fun. It'd be a piece of cake. So you go in there with your Apollos, and then you get annihilated in seconds. Okay, the Zoes have got quite a bit of power, but the scatter guns have got an enormous amount of power. So with a set of Apollos up front, okay, then it sort of, you can do it, okay. However, some people, okay, have actually gone in there with a spite lead, okay, and they've gone in really, really close to the spite because obviously they can take the damage quite nicely. because their inherent built-in defenses are stronger than the actual turret that's kicking out the scatter. And then you can nip in behind, obviously, with a BB crew on your Apollos, and then you can take out that gun and it's not actually targeting you. So a lot of people are saying that you can actually get in there and do number 7 for virtually instant fix if you've got a spike. If you haven't got a spike, there are other ways you can do it. You can go and take out all the ships first if you happen to have a BB crew or using some decent sort of crew, basically. And then you can go back in with, and there are many, many methods. You can go back in the slow time, you get now to do it, and that sort of stuff. You can race through the first 6 very, very quickly. And you can bring in the typical old things like an enforcer and that sort of stuff, which means you get to outrange, obviously, those turrets and that sort of stuff if you just inch in really, really slowly. Fortunately, because it's the 86 one, there's not many of them. There's only four areas, and they've only got 4 on each one. So
the damage is akin to.
Yeah, go on.
I'm sorry. I was just going to say that the damage is akin to the 104 and 106 then, like the last one in the last Apollo raid.
I'd say it's even more. Put it this way: if you don't have a BB crew and you don't have some other method to deflect that scatter gun turret spread, you're going to get through at least 3, if not 4 sets of Apollos, even if you've got a Zoe. Now you
with the BB crew or without?
No, without.
Okay, I was gonna say because like in that Apollo raid, you had to have a BB crew or a DOS crew to get through the 104 and 106.
You know, me personally, there's things you can do. I think if you run a BB crew, and you run your Punisher tank in there with all your defense stuff, and you've got a spike, and then you've got 3 rhinos in behind, that's a good combination where basically you can get in there, send the spike in closer, it's taking over scatters, and then obviously any missiles that's coming in should hit the spike anyway, but if not, you can take all those out because the BB crew will be working in conjunction with your Punisher tank, and then the rhinos will obviously retarget and then kill the turret off, so you haven't even got to get close. Or you can use some some morts and that sort of stuff, but there's other options. Anyway, if you want to see how not to do it, have a look at my stream, okay? Because I took the hit for everybody. I took one for the team, got annihilated, okay, went back in on the second time round, nearly got annihilated again. I thought, that's not right. So I went back, changed the crew, and I finished it fine, no problem at all. It was actually quite easy. But there you go. So there's different thoughts.
Yeah, I like the fact that they put the Tide Seeker in Prize Pack 1 rather than
so we have
Prize
to talk about
Pack
Prize
3.
Pack. So point to note, please. Okay, level 50s and above only. All right then, and Prize Pack 3 you've got to complete within an hour, which you certainly can do. I did the whole campaign in an hour, all 3 runs.
Oh, nice, good.
I did it in 1 hour. The first 2 campaigns, I honestly, Prize Pack 1 can definitely be done with rhinos, and probably a Frosty or something like that. Prize Pack 2, I would think probably you could also do the same. Prize Pack 3, you will get most of the way down, and then obviously you'll come up against this issue. So, but then again, Prize Pack 3. Whilst it does have, yes, it has the the payload, and whilst it does have the Garwood Gatling gun in there, what is nice is, as you've said as well, is the concussive reciprocators in Prize Pack 2. And I know, George, that was your build, wasn't it, on the preview?
Yes. Yeah, actually, both of us used it. I just went very heavy with the last build on the concussive reciprocator. The way that they have the prize packs, I really do appreciate them trying this time because Prize Pack 1, I'll see if I can get a vid of it. I'm going to try it with rhinos to see how far I can get before I go through the rest. But the fact that they have the concussive reciprocator in Prize Pack 2, and it's a viable candidate for this hull, if you cannot get the Garwood, I love it. I love that you do not have to kill yourself to get this in a working order. I mean, you won't have top of the line, the Garwood and everything, but you don't have to go all the way.
Gun that's got a reasonable range, so
Yeah, and I mean, these prizes were meant to auto or do tier 4, so the B tier, and a player might not have a lot of high tech either for the skirmisher set or for the assault set. They might not have Apollos. They might just have rhinos. And it's nice that they'll be able to get something that's about on their current tech level with the tech they currently have instead of needing to have Apollos to get the hull.
Yeah. And the other good thing is this. I know that they're saying that it's for the B set, right? What is that, tier 4 now?
Yeah.
I was actually using a single tide seeker and doing the first 2 of the A set, tier 5, on auto. And that was before they lowered the repair time on the hull itself. I was doing it for 2 coins. It probably might be down to 1 coin now for the 71 and 73? Is that what it was?
Right. 173, yeah.
Now, the 75 was a different story. That one I had to drive and I actually used more than 1 hull. But, if this was intended for the B sets and for people to grind through a raid, y'all just need to concentrate on 1 and get through it. They gave you a total of, 12 days in price pack 1 and 2? That should get you 1 pretty well.
Yeah.
I mean, you still have to
I've got the build in a minute. We can have a look at it in a second anyway. So
yeah. I mean, you still have to rank it, but I mean, hell, you only have to rank 1.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
I think it's a good compromise for players that are are having issues with the raid set and what to do.
You've only got to potentially rank 1, and also it's assault, so which means you can so you can actually go out and do it on the sea. It's not like trying to do a PvP hull.
Right.
So you can rank it reasonably well.
But it does have a lot of armor. It has a lot of armor for one hull. It's like 24,000?
I've got the blank in a second coming up. So. Right, so there we go. So start date, obviously it started. Okay, it ends obviously on the 8th and that sort of stuff. Okay, which is great. Like I say, there's three run-throughs to do. Okay, then just bear in mind that obviously at the 3rd encounter you get exactly 1 hour and the clock starts ticking. So I would save, if you're going to run a BB crew, I wouldn't put it on until you start prize pack 2. I honestly think you don't need it. I ran the BB crew at the end on prize pack 3 and I wasted half of it, but it didn't have to save me a lot of damage. So, there we go. Right. Okay, so there we go. That's the High Tide TLCT. So we'll have a quick look at the, obviously, I put this slide up here. I mean, obviously, it was brought up, obviously, on last week as well. But if there are any adjustments, so that's the latest stats. I don't think a great deal has changed. Concussive damage still at plus 400%. Okay, concussive range, interestingly, look, is at minus 5%. Interesting. Okay.
Don't snap me, bro.
Yeah. Okay. So projectile speed, which is good, is plus 50, which is quite nice. The blade bonus, which is built in, is 25, which I quite like, and I like the explosive defense, which is already at plus 75%, which is excellent, and it's needed. Concussive defense is already at 85%. So some good stats there. And sonar and thermal range, I like that.
I still don't like the concussive range of minus 5%.
No, well, we know why we've done that. Otherwise, they'll be using this thing as a spot all over the place, won't they? So, and it no longer is. So, combat speed's good, as a baseline. That's really good, I think, to be honest. But it's not a wind-up like the Apollo, so just bear that in mind.
Yes.
And then obviously there's some bloodthirst things there as well about cold snap immune and that sort of stuff. And then the defensive stats obviously go up. And I like the fact that it has plus 90 combat speed, which is great, especially when you stick it in an oil slick. It's good fun. It makes the right mix. And you see the splash damage reduction as well on the special abilities as well.
Yeah, max stacks.
That's quite good, isn't it? I quite like that.
Yes, that's going to be very interesting. It's still, again, though.
Yeah, go on.
I was just going to mention it. Just make sure you guys remember it's 24,000 armor points. It's going to take a bit to rank.
Yeah, it will do. So that's like an old ship in the old days, fully armored up and that sort of stuff before you do anything else. So, but there we go. So that's it. What I haven't had a chance to do, obviously, is to check. Now, Andrew flashed up this stats from the preview, and he put those pictures up on the TLC website and stuff. So I haven't had a TFC website, so I haven't had a chance then to compare this release stat to obviously the original stats. So I'm not sure if there's been any changes myself, but I'm sure somebody will. As I say, we've got a smart community; they'll pick it up and have a look. So, so there we go. So that's the hull itself then, and there's obviously the gun, and the main point about the gun, the thing to consider obviously is the fact that obviously the range, when it was 104, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was originally 104.
Yeah, so 104 was never going to stay because obviously then you just put that gun onto another, base hitting hull and then you'd have one of the best prepping hulls you could possibly ever have, you know, because this isn't a twin range weapon, it's a single range weapon. So you would have the full range of 104, which would be the best thing in the game then, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Which would be very dangerous. So everybody, I think, clocked onto that very, very quickly, and they reduced it to 93, didn't they? Was it 93?
Yes, it's 93.
Yeah, 93, so there we go. And just remember, it's a wind-up gun. Okay, so obviously the longer you stay in combat, obviously the faster it starts to fire, the more damage it starts to produce, etc., etc. Does it show what the...
But the maximum reload stacks are only 2.
Yeah, I clocked that as well.
So
That's
if you're getting,
odd.
if it's 1 stack a shot, you are at maximum reload stacks by the time your salvo is done.
Yep.
And if not, then it's 3 seconds and actually no, it's 2 seconds, then it's 4/3 of a second. So that's really fast.
Yep.
It is, and it was fast in the preview. You know, once you got into that, especially with Bloodthirst as well, and then you got into the oil slicks, it was annihilating everything pretty quick. It was good fun to see.
Yeah, my favorite build out of everything was the one that I combined this with the concussive reciprocator. But you had to, I mean, that was a build that you had to drive. So not for the lazy person like me.
Yeah, whilst they're saying auto on this, if it takes too long to get from one point to the next point, then I think obviously you get wind down on your guns as well. So for me personally, I did drive as well, and I treated it as a blitz. But you know, and I blitzed everything, so which was fun to do.
Most of the ships are pretty close together in the targets, though. They're in little patches. It might take time to get between the patches, but if you hit an oil slick, then you're good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely like that. So there you go. That's obviously the goal itself. Then, and obviously this is one of your favorites, Brian, isn't it?
Yes, it's so good.
You want to enlighten people why you like this one particularly.
Well, the weapon weight. Okay, so I'll just pull up for comparison a similar. It's 12% weapon weight, and that's very good compared to, like, I have Mimicus system, and I put concussive, the one you can research in the lab. That concussive damage upgrade. That's 10%, and at rank 15, that gives you a 40.9% increase to concussive damage for 10% weapon weight. Mm-hmm. This is just 2% more of the weight, but it gives you about 9% more damage. So the boost for that is a little more efficient per percent of weight than the other one in terms of damage to weapon weight, and concussive reload of 30%.
I can say that's like having an extra ship in your fleet, really.
Sometimes, yeah. So there are these things called subs that use concussive weapons, and you just do that, and you're fine. Especially if you have Mimicus system. If you have stealth attack system, I don't think they'll stack because 2 things are using the concussive damage stat. But if you have Mimicus system, you just slap this right on, and if you have to downgrade an armor, well, downgrade that armor because this is a lot of damage.
Yeah, it is. Damage up, reload up. It's all good, isn't it? I like it. I must admit, I think it'd be great for on the old subs there. Which I don't know what the fit time is for this. I must admit, I could look at it, but I haven't checked just the fit for the special itself. But I still think it'd be a worthy swap for those on that system. I agree with you. So anyway, so that's that. So builds, and this is just a notional build. I hope you can see that, because if not, I'll have to change it slightly. So the flat rate build time, okay, for the hull, which was absolutely scary in the preview, is now 2 days, 15 hours, and 30 minutes, 38 seconds, but forget the seconds, which is good. And then there's an example build. I'm not saying it's the build, okay, but that's the build I used in the preview. And those armors are the level 5 ones, by the way. I did go for the level 2s as well in the preview stream that I did, and actually, although the hulls took more damage, and this is the theory I always run anyway, although the hulls took more damage, the fix time actually ended up being almost the same. So whilst it looks like the ones with the heavy armor are taking less damage, the actual overall fix time was about the same as those with the lighter armor. It just meant that for those individuals that build them heavy, you can stay in more battles before you have to go and fix. And if you're in the concept of, like I like to do as many battles as you can and then put your fleet on fix overnight, then obviously then you get a bonus because you can do more you can be in more battles at more times and that sort of stuff. So that tends to work for me. You do your battles first thing in the morning, and you disappear to work, come back, and you fix your fleet, and then you can do another battle. And ideally, before you sack it at night time, you can do a third battle. And you shouldn't have to spend any coins that way.
Guys, need confirmation. 2 days, 6 hours fit on the new special. What
is it?
I hope
that
not.
Wouldn't surprise me.
I hope not.
That wouldn't surprise me. Something's quite high, because if the ship is only 2 days, I think it's 9 hours per gun per Garwood, and the rest of those specials don't really take a great deal of time. So something's got to take the time up to the 14 days for that build.
So if you're like me, and you don't spend coins on ship builds, and you might not have as much access to tokens as you might like, there is the best case for the concussive warhead, because that's the Forsaken researchable one. That's only
so it's 2 days, 3 hours. That's confirmed.
Ew.
But don't forget, obviously, if you're R&D 30, and obviously if you've got an officer on as well, it'll be quicker. But the Garwoods aren't good either, because they're about 15 hours.
What? 15?
Yeah. Yeah, it jumps up quite considerably. We can test it in a minute. We can flip from the slides in a minute, and we can play around with some builds. That's why I thought we'd try and get through this slides pack as soon as we can, and then I'll flip up the Battle Pirates game, because I've finished the campaign, and then obviously we can look around and tease around with some specials and that stuff if you want to for it to finish off. But we can do that, or we can definitely look at each component part.
I do want to comment on Mark's build here. One of the things that he had mentioned earlier was that the lighter armor was repairing at the same amount of time, the repair time was the same. It might actually be quicker now because of the change they did on the repair time of the hull itself, on the base hull itself.
Yeah, it could be actually.
The repair modifier changed, and when you have a repair modifier against 4,000 armor, the repair time of that armor that you put on. So the smaller armor might actually have an overall quicker repair than the heavier armor now.
As it did on the Apollos in the end.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why everyone went light on Apollos.
No armor on my Apollos at all.
And some don't even put any, do they? So yeah. Because the overall fixed time, it just maps out nicely. I must admit, I've got 2 D5M on mine, but that's just the way I've got mine built. But the end result seems very similar, because I've also got people in the Alliance, they've got none, and we do the same targets and that sort of stuff, and actually the overall fixed time is the same, although theirs are nearly trashed, and mine have got 1/3 damage. The fixed time is still the same. Okay, anyway, so there we go. So that's the Tide Seeker. There's a suggested build idea. You don't have to go with it, and if you want to look at what that hull can do, that was the one I used in the preview, and that stream's obviously been out on the page, and it's on our website as well, on my streams link. So there we go. Okay, Brian, your slide. Take it away.
Sure. First of all, Garwood build time about 11 hours per gun, much better than 15.
Okay.
Bug fixes and tuning made a change that should prevent standard fleets from starting combat too close to an enemy megaship. Okay. Badges that are intended to be awarded to players when they complete a campaign should once again be awarded upon fully completing the campaign, not just one of the run-throughs.
Yeah, that happened in the last TLC.
Yep, we all got the stabbed in the heart badge, and
just for taking part.
Just for doing the first set, and I liked it and kept my mouth shut. And now these last two have been recently added since they first put out the notes at 9 a.m. PST. There was an issue with the Clash of the Titans extension that caused players to become stuck in progress or unable to activate. To counter this, the campaign will be reset at 2 p.m., allowing players to activate this campaign correctly. Thank you for your reports.
That was really annoying for people who already started it and that sort of stuff. They got so far through, and all of a sudden it sort of like locked them, because technically the campaign had restarted, but it hadn't officially restarted for them because they'd already started it. That's slightly annoying.
Yeah, the extension recode.
The fact that it's been going to be reset, does that mean that they're going to go back to start point 1 again? Because they'd already got through so far. That would be really, really annoying.
No, because if you have to restart the whole thing, it actually gives you credit for what you've already won.
Oh, right, okay. Well, that's not too bad then, I suppose. But you still have to go through those early campaigns then, if you've already completed them? Right.
No.
Okay. Good. I might get around to do that one day. Okay. Next one.
The high tide campaign shows incorrect data in the model, the little picture. The release notes are correct. You will receive 4 5,000 VXP tokens and 6 1,000 VXP tokens. The picture, by the way, shows one of each of those. You get 4 5,000 and 6 1,000.
Which is a huge jump. That's a good jump. That's a plus.
That is the difference between sculling a ship and leaving it at rank 20 something. I don't know.
Who's the first person that's going to yell nerf?
Yeah, I don't know. So just to clarify, Brian, we were talking about obviously tokens and outputs and that sort of stuff. Do we get a total count on the number of build day tokens we get and a total count on the number of VXP points we get? Not a
this bottom bit is correct. That's going to be 26,000 VXP and
24 days worth.
Yep, 4, 8, and 12.
Yeah.
Okay, so from my calculations, and if you take the armor off, that almost gives you 2 complete hulls built.
Nice.
You might take a little bit of the armor off, but you'll get 2 complete. And to be honest, when you're ranking, you don't want armor on anyway.
Well, let me ask this: how much is one of the hulls? Like, if you only can build one, how many days?
Without the armor on it?
Yeah, without the armor on it.
Oh, I knew you'd do that to me. Right, keep talking. I'll have a look.
Well, I just want to know if
2?
you only can get through, because I know the third one is so difficult. If you only can get through the first or second one, I'm just curious how many tokens you actually need to pull it off.
Well, we finished this now. I can stop the stream if you want. We can bring the game up and we can build it with obviously the concussive reciprocators and that sort of stuff and have a quick look.
Have at it.
We've got a bit of time for that. So okay, so I'll stop the presentation on here for a second. We'll all chat as we always do. I'll close the PowerPoint. Get rid of that.
Someone lightweight just said 12 days in the chat. Is it 12 days for?
Well, that one with the armor was 14. So yeah, so it probably would be pretty close to that, to be honest. So what I need to do is just bring up a new window. I'll drag it across to there. Let me start.
And in the first 2 prize packs combined, you get 12 days, correct? So you could literally build one for free prize packs and have something for the raid.
Yeah, I think you could. Yeah, definitely without doubt.
That's not bad. That's not bad at all.
No, it's quite good, I think, to be honest. It could be a lot worse. Right, so the information about the TLC is coming up. So the banner on the top of the page actually does said for a limited time, level 50 captains and higher can earn the Tide Seeker from the High Tide TLC. The anti-subsurface ship is designed to face the Reaver Armadas head on. For more information, click here. Right, yeah, okay, cheers for that. Right, okay, so we're in. Let me just have a look, because I'm not actually building a ship at the moment. No, my ship is finished, and I didn't start it again because I thought I'd do it after we've done this. So, can everybody see that? Should be able to.
Yep.
Okay, base is up then. Right, so let's go into the shipyard then and have a little look. So there's a confirmation. It's 2 days, 15 hours, and 30 minutes. Bear in mind, I'm an R&D 30, and I've got an officer on board as well. So I think should we just add the special first and just get the time checks? I don't know if Brian wants to keep this mental maths going.
Yeah.
In his head.
I'm just hoping I'm wrong.
So there it is there, look, okay. So that pushes it up to, oh, no, you're not wrong. 4 days, 18 hours, 19 minutes. Okay. So now you're not happy about putting that on your subs, are you?
Special.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
I can.
Actually, that one's not that much better either, right?
Yeah, it's like a day and a half or something like that.
Okay, and then we want to obviously look for where are they? Here we go. So this is the Garwood then. So that drops it up to 3 days and 44 minutes. 3 days and 44 minutes from 2 days, 15 hours and 30 minutes. So that's more than 12 hours, isn't it? We got that one? Happy? So just to confirm, by the way, the build time of this went down massively, didn't it? The chronic depth charge.
Just a couple hours. Yeah.
Which was, I think it was like 2 days and something like that, and it's been reduced because look, that's 2 days, 18 hours and 6 minutes now.
It was almost 3 days, and now it's almost 3 hours.
It's now 3 hours. So that's a huge difference, isn't it? However,
but the damn
I strongly suggest you don't put it on this hull, because I tried that in the preview stream and got absolutely annihilated because they couldn't target onto any ship decently. It just wasn't having it. The spread was just too big, and the ships were moving too quick. And then obviously the power that they've got on them, the defense stats they got on it didn't do too well. And I loaded up 4 ships with those things, still didn't go too well. So concussive reciprocator, that's the interesting one, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the one that I ended up doing at the end when I was autoing stuff.
Ooh.
That worked out. That worked very well.
2 days, 23 hours. So 2 days, 23 hours, and that gives you a range of 86. So you're what? You're 6 less, aren't you, on your range?
Mm-hmm.
And obviously you have to consider the damage there versus the. So you've got reload time of 7. Then does that mean that means it pauses at that time? Does it?
After 7 seconds?
Well, reload time 7.
Yeah.
Okay.
Reload time 7.
So 2 days, 23 hours. Okay, and then go back to this one here, and then it's obviously it's an extra hour, isn't it? Basically.
And versus ships,
extra 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
And versus ships, the DPS of this new gun and the DPS of concussive reciprocator are pretty comparable. It's actually pretty close. So if you have the concussive reciprocator, you're fine. If you have this, okay, but you don't need it.
So just out of interest, we'll build the build that I've looked at, and we'll take off the armor, and we'll just confirm then whilst we're on live at the moment. And there we go. So 11 days and 1 hour, or 2 hours. So you've got plenty of tokens to do that. And obviously you can probably just drop that rung of, if you want to go ranking. I mean, you can do several things. You can turn off the ablative armor sort of stuff just to start with.
You can swap out the concussive payload for concussive warhead, or just drop it entirely.
Yeah, there are things you can do. I mean, I use combustion system: A, projectile speed; B, splash, and spread, which is ideal. Although spread doesn't really matter on this gun, but I noticed that helped kill the bugs massively in some of those targets. So it was killing when people weren't using that and they're using the other one, because that adds the spread as well. They were killing 1 or 2 bugs, and I was killing like 4 or 5 in one salvo, or in one hit, which worked quite nicely.
Really? Because I wasn't having a problem with them at all.
No. Because the Garwood
really.
splash is only 10.
Yeah, the concussive reciprocator is only 10. I think it's only 10 as well.
But then getting a splash is 74% bonus then, as well, which is quite nice to have. And the projectile speed. Well, to be honest, I think the Garwood fast. That's still a dubious special, to be honest. And try it when you rank them up, because then you're down to 10 hours and 15 minutes. So you can soon crack this down. And how many days build tokens did you say we got?
24.
12.
We're well in, aren't we?
Well, in the first two you get 12. That's what. See, I'm more concerned about doing the first 2 only, because a lot of people are going to have problems getting that third one.
If you just drop the special and a few of the guns, and you'll have 3 of those.
You couldn't you?
The advanced, yeah. I mean, it's not fully loaded and ideal, but you're going to have more guns on the sea, and you're going to have, because you're not armoring it, I guess armor points per build time efficiency is even higher, like for so little time, because that's 24,000 armor points, and even the big plates only add 2750 and take a day if you're using concussive, and 2 days if you're using explosive. So
yeah, the thing I like about this is it's fast, it's got great thermal range, and it's going to make an amazing subcolor. Simple. So you've got a dual role vehicle here that A is going to be able to go out and do out these targets and that sort of stuff, and obviously then use them for they're likely to be the uranium targets, aren't they, for next season? And then obviously you've got a subcolor, which is ideal. That's quick as well.
Well, yeah, as long as you're not going up against a Hellwraith.
But it's still going to be quick.
Oh, it'll be quick, but it ain't going to do.
Not as fast as the Hellwraith.
Well, it's not going to be good on a Hellwraith using these weapons.
It doesn't matter.
No, it's never going to
those weapons. Even if it catches them, those weapons aren't going to do that much damage against the Hellwraith.
That's what I'm saying.
Because the Hellwraith
don't use these weapons. But if you want to make it as a subcolor, change your weapons. It's going to make an amazing scatterguns or something like that. because I use Furies at the moment and a Retribution, and I can kill them in 2 volleys. A complete set of Hellwraiths are dead in 2 volley. So it does work. So yes, it's slow.
That's nice,
Don't forget.
yeah.
So bear in mind, this is slow compared to a Ret, but the Retribution doesn't have the speed boost that this does when it goes into overload. So it just takes 1 click, and then this thing is going to go blisteringly fast across the water, much faster than what a Retribution will do.
I'd still rather have some sort. Give me a missile retargeting hole in there, because these don't have inherent missile resist, and they have massive concussive resist and maybe assault deflection. But okay.
But yeah, but there's options, as ever, and ultimately everyone can get this, that's got rhinos basically, because they can get through level 1, which means they can get this hull, which means they've got a sub killer. And many of the people haven't got one. Still plenty of people that haven't got anything with thermal. Put it blank in your base. You've got a thermal of 85. No more subs coming in if you put it in the right place.
It's a good start, yeah.
It's a great start. Look at the base armor on the damn thing. It's a great thing just to sit in your base as one of your ships to go, right, no more subs. 85 thermal range, You can load up with missiles if you wanted to, which will annoy people with Furies. Right, anyway, that's some different ideas and that sort of stuff. So that's all I've got for myself for tonight. Is there anything else you want to chat about?
No, I think we covered as much stuff as we could get.
Excellent. Well, we're just hitting the hour, which is great. So we're coming up to raid time. There will be some new changes, obviously, because this hull is going to be built by plenty of people. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see yet more previews before the raid comes out. It wouldn't surprise me at all. So bear in mind, if there is something coming up, and if there's no preview, we'll let you know about it. It certainly wouldn't surprise me. We have no idea what the raid prize will be yet. Okay, but I'm sure that will be released in time. And if there's a preview for that, then obviously we'll make sure we jump in there, and we'll also, if it's on a Friday again, that they tend to be, then I will also stream that as well if nobody else wants to. But I don't mind streaming because I'm normally back about the right sort of time for it to kick off. Apart from that, I've got nothing else. Gents, anything else yourselves?
Nope, I'm waiting to see what we're getting for the raid. I'm very curious, given what's come out in the last DLCs.
Yeah, I know. I think there's going to be a bit of a, well, we used to call it a shitstorm, but yeah, I think make the most of having fun. Okay, with your new
revenges.
Yeah. To make the most. Hey, where the sun shines, because I think it's about to start raining. But I may be wrong.
Well, I can't see them having that out there, for more than a month without having some sort of counter to it. Because I'm telling you, that's a ouch hull, man. It just starts.
Isn't it funny how you can bring a hull that was reasonable and then went completely off the slope to more than mediocre to amazing?
I'm just curious as why they can't do like small stabs. It's like lurches and then pause and then a lurch and then a pause and
the thing is too, there's things they could have done with that ship, because now they have established design philosophies for how to make Conqueror hulls. So like they could have made the Harlock's Revenge look like a normal, and then have a flagship effect that morphed the stats to make it look like another Conqueror hull. Give it the defense handicap, but boost the resistances, boost the base armor. And instead, you just made something utterly ridiculous.
But anyway, my advice: if you manage to get the hull, don't go tanking it up on Axis if you don't need to. I've just put on one anti and one engine, and I just sit it in the corner, and I just run the other 4 ships into the base. I don't even need to move the damn thing, and I do fine.
Yeah.
And in fact, I did my alliance points this week. Sorry for the alliance I hit. Okay, and I killed most bases with one ship. I just went in with one ship and sat the rest of them outside. And I just went to the next base, and I just used the next ship. So when I went back to my own location and then docked, I had about 5 or 6 minutes fit on each ship.
There's nothing overpowered here.
There's
not the droid you're looking for.
No, not at all. You're after. Right. Okay, we'll wrap it there. That's on the hour exactly, because I've got to get up in 5.5 hours. I'm going to work.
All right.
So I'll say good night.
Thank you, guys. Good night, everybody.
Yeah, take care. And thanks for tuning in.
Night, everybody.